I have breaking news about Goliath Ventures. I found some intel that blew away the special agents working on this case. I shared it with them first, and then I typed up the blog that we're about to look at. But before that, I want to speak directly to the people who have kept money invested in Goliath Ventures. If you have put money into Goliath Ventures, you need to listen up. If you think everything I have said about Goliath Ventures is a lie, what if I could prove to you that Chris Delgado is a criminal? What if I can show you proof that years ago he scammed people out of millions of dollars while he was working for another scammer? Will that help convince you that Goliath Ventures is nothing more than a scam, a Ponzi scheme? There's no liquidity pools. He's taking your money and giving a little bit back to you, calling it profit. Are you too blinded by greed and need to believe these lies? You know this is all going to end in tears. Pull your money out now. As I said to another investor, wake up. Are you stupid? Come on, guys, wake up. I've got a blog which is absolutely going to prove with no doubt that Goliath Ventures is running one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in America. I get nervous when I do these videos, especially when I've got some amazing intel. And I'll be honest, I'm nervous now. This is number 11 in the series of blogs exposing Goliath Ventures. But every time I do a new blog, they just get better and better. We have more intel, more whistleblowers, and they are trying to stop us. And there's no stopping me and my Avengers. This blog will blow your socks off. And I'm going to read every part of it with my computer because that's the way. So let's start with the basics. The title. Whoop, no title.
Goliath Ventures Ponzi, Verlin Sanciangco and my liquidity partner, MLP, scam rebranded.
The people that have read this blog before we went live are blown away. These people that you see in this picture are all connected to what's happening right now. These two brands that you see on the billboard, don't they look similar? Well, there's a reason for that. So let's get started. Let me give you the intro that I want you to read and take in.
I've been investigating a $300 to $500 million Ponzi scheme in Orlando, FL, with links to FBI Director Kash Patel, Ron DeSantis, and even Andrew Tate.
Yeah, that's not something you get to hear every day.
This Ponzi scheme, Goliath Ventures Incorporated, everyone thinks was started by Chris Delgado, but there's more to the story.
He pretends he's the man. Behind every Ponzi scheme, it's not just greed, but what's that word?
But arrogance.
Arrogance. The belief that they'll never get caught. Now look at this. That's Christopher doing what he does best. I can't even get that in the same picture. But that is, let's see if I can get it in one picture, Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. And there's Christopher trying to smooth his way in with a handshake, saying hi, in a photo, look at me, to mislead you. Are you easily misled? Let's see what happens. So that's Chris Delgado with the FBI Director Kash Patel. Right, so after digging Steep into this $300 to $500 million Goliath Ventures Ponzi scheme in Orlando, this is what we have uncovered.
I've uncovered evidence suggesting that Christopher Lord Delgado may not be the mastermind everyone thinks he is. The real puppet master may be Verlin Sanciangco, a convicted fraudster who fled to Dubai after running an identical scam called My Liquidity Partner, MLP, that ripped off thousands of people out of tens of millions. The parallels are too striking to ignore, and they reveal a disturbing pattern. How these two Ponzi schemes are almost perfect mirror images of one another.
When I first heard about this, I straight away said, what's the ties to Dubai? They all link back to these criminal cartel networks in Dubai because they're untouchable. We've even got people within Goliath Ventures team saying that their game plan is to be living in Dubai in 6 months' time. The point of this post, well, this blog, let's do them one at a time. Listen to these if you're an investor, because that's what it's all about. We're not here to ruin your investment. We're here to wake you guys up. We're here to help you save your money. We actually work for the investors. That's what we do.
Point of this post: if you are an BHSI agent or US government investigator, this lays out how the liquidity pool scam is articulated to victims, and you can use the reference lawsuit to prepare your own indictment against Chris Delgado and the Goliath Ventures scam.
Yeah, so we've got the documents, we've got the receipts, and here is the documents where you can actually have a read, save you looking them up on the system. They're right here, hosted on my bulletproof website hosting provider. So that is what that's all about. And they have been hammering our website, trying to get our website offline. They do not want us to publish this information.
If you are an investor in Goliath Ventures, you can read this a few times, verify everything for yourself, and recognize what an idiotic mistake it was to believe that you could make risk-free profits from crypto liquidity pool, and you can try and pull out your money.
They said they're doing mining, pancake swaps. He's on the stage with Patrick Ben David telling people that they're a liquidity provider doing pancake swaps. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard and come out of his mouth. He paid $1 million to stand on a stage and make an announcement like that. Even Christopher didn't know what he was doing on that stage. And I've asked investors to explain to me that it's not a Ponzi scheme and explain to me what they've invested in. And they said they don't understand the technical stuff. It's just, so I'm sorry, but we're not here to ridicule you. We're here to help you. We are the investor's friend.
If you are someone who helped rope in others into this scam, profited from this through uneconomical deals, you can get ready to go to prison. Start by restricting yourself to a prison diet now, so that when you're in prison it won't be such a shock to your system. Even if you are one of the lucky few who don't go to prison, get ready for years of court cases.
Yeah, it reminds me of my previous blog. It said, don't drop the soap. If you think negligence is going to save you, then you need to wake up. And I have said that to so many people who have been contacting me in the last 7 days. I said, you need to wake up. And people are telling me they're too busy to read my blogs. And I said, well, you'll have a lot of time in prison reading my blogs. That's what I literally tell them.
Given what I lay out, it's entirely likely Chris Delgado and his accomplices will face RICO charges or continuing criminal enterprise, CCE, given the long-running nature of My Liquidity Partner, which has morphed into the Goliath Ventures Incorporated Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, fake success. It's just ridiculous. Hey, nice to see you in here again in the chat room. We have a chat room. If you want to say anything, please do chuck anything into the chat room. It's all welcome. Our YouTube channel has been attacked by Diego's thugs lately. We've been getting some unusual comments. They're all done by bots, but they're quite clever bots because they're trying to put together bits of information to make it discreditable to me, which is quite a laugh. But anyway, we've diligently removed them all. We get about 100 a day. They don't like these videos coming out, and this is one of the best ones. So buckle up.
Fake success. Sir Verlin to Lord Delgado, defendant Sanciangco created a false image of himself, one where he had a flashy, expensive lifestyle, and conducted business in places like Dubai and London. He used this manufactured image to induce plaintiffs to enter into a business relationship wherein they would not only invest, but use their vast business knowledge, experience, and list of contacts to find additional investors.
Does that sound familiar? Oh, does it sound familiar? Wait, this is a big blog. And this is, I think that blog already says what I'm thinking.
Who does this sound like to you? A funny and revealing parallel to be noted with both scams is how Verlin Sanciangco insisted investors call him Sir Verlin, presenting himself as some kind of crypto nobility. Chris Delgado does the same thing, calling himself Lord Delgado. It is disturbing that both scams would be so similar unless the same hand was directing both.
Sir Verlin, Lord Diego. I can't even say the stupid name right, Lordy. But I mean, isn't it a disrespect to people who are lords or sirs? I mean, don't you get knighted by the king to become a sir or a lord? But you can self-appoint yourself one of these people. So here's the photo that really screws Christopher. It's like the 5 Musketeers. Is there 5 of them? Was it 4? I think there was 4. But these guys, Nick, I mean, I look at this and I think, you know, when we first started investigating this scam, we'd seen these photos, we've heard these stories, but we just have to keep digging and keep digging until we got to the bottom of it. I think we're at the bottom of it. Now we just need to link all the individuals that are helping Chris together. So who's in this photo? I'll read them as we look at them. Excuse me.
Chris Delgado, founder of Goliath Ventures; Verlin Sanciangco, convicted scammer; Tina Liu, MLP, business dev officer; Anastasia Nepomniachtchik, chief administrative officer of MLP; and Nick Petrillo, chief operations officer of Goliath Ventures, on January 19th, 2023.
Yeah, so this is, the timeline's quite important. So that's January 2023. Now, if you went to GOLIATH VENTURES INC.com's website, you'll actually see Nick Perillo on that website. Excuse me for hiccuping. By the way, it's 18 past 1 in the morning. I just want to say thank you to the people that donated to me today. I hadn't had any donations for my work, and this is how I survive, for 10 days. And then this morning I woke up to a $5 donation, and I thought, that's the first donation I've had for 10 days. So thank you very much to Barry. And also then I received a very generous donation from somebody else. I thank you for that. And I've actually received 5 other donations today. So we're not doing it for the money, but if you can support us, we really do appreciate it. It keeps me, I want to do this full time. And, you know, and I need to pay for all my my legal expenses, as you can imagine. But any support is much appreciated. As long, and I'll make this caveat, as long as you're not paying me out of profits that you've received from Christopher Diego. If you have made profits and you're trying to donate them to me, I do not want them. And I will send that money back. Just letting you know. But if it's for other money, that's fine. But yeah, just watch where that money comes from, because I don't want your dirty money.
The crypto liquidity pool lie. How both scams claim to generate yield. Both my liquidity partner, MLP, and Goliath Ventures Incorporated GVI use the exact same fraudulent pitch about cryptocurrency liquidity pools. Here's how they claim it works. According to court documents from the renowned Structured Holdings lawsuit against Smart Contract Solutions and Verlin Sanciangco.
So just what we're saying here, guys, is this ain't their first rodeo. And when you look at the first company and you look at the second company and then you look at them all linked together, it's not rocket science. And then that basically means that Christopher is trying to make out he's the man, but he's not. He's just a puppet on a string. And this is not their first rodeo. So this is what we're doing. We're now comparing these two. And this is why when I sent these to the special agents today, I felt like we've worked out the enigma, how it all works, because we don't know. We're not inside these companies. We can't, you know, sit here and look at, like, nobody has seen the books. Nobody has seen the books. And you guys keep putting your money in. There's no proof of any trading. There's nothing. It's just incredible that you give over millions of dollars to a guy on a handshake, on a trust me bro thing. Okay, so let's get started. The supposed business model. Number 1, we've numbered them for you to make it easy for those people who are in doubt.
Liquidity pools operate by holding pairs of cryptocurrencies, like USDCF.
Okay. Now you know what a liquid pool is. The liquidity pool is, I should say.
When traders swap currencies on decentralized exchanges, the pool collects approximately 0.3% in fees.
0.3%, not 4% so far. So we're just talking low numbers, okay? Now we're going to go to number 3.
Pool operators need cryptocurrency from liquidity partners to stake.
Right. So you got that? So that's what liquidity, we're trying to explain it to you in layman's term.
What is stake? Crypto staking is a process in proof of stake, POS, blockchains where users lock up their cryptocurrency to help validate transactions, secure the network, and in return, earn rewards.
Now I can guarantee you that if I read this out to 90% of the investors with Christopher, they wouldn't understand what this means. I don't actually understand what this actually means. My team of Avengers put this together as plainly as they could to help you understand it. So this is as complicated as it's ever going to get where your money's theoretically coming from. But this is why we're doing it. We want you guys to understand that it's all bullshit and there's no proof. Get Christopher to explain liquidity pools and you'll be horrified.
These partners supposedly receive weekly returns, often promoted as a fixed 2.25% per week, over 117% annually.
Right, you got that?
An introducer network gets paid to bring in new partners. Dead giveaway, it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. So they're just getting backhanders. But it's not where the money's coming from.
This is a complete lie. No legitimate liquidity pool operation can guarantee 2.25% weekly returns or the 4-8% that Goliath Ventures offers monthly. The actual returns from real DeFi liquidity pools are typically a fraction of this, and they come with significant impermanent loss risks that these schemes never mention.
So on our other videos, Christopher has said that he has found an insurer that will guarantee that you won't lose your investment. Didn't name the insurance company. Wake up. I mean, the guy is a moron. You need to ask these questions. You need to get your money out of this, guys. I'm sick and tired of trying to help people at the bottom. I was in a meeting yesterday and I worked out that I'm not helping victims. I'm at the top of the cliff fighting with the Christophers of the world, trying to stop people listening to these guys. And they call me dirty names. It's amazing. But this is to say that any investment, the biggest, a 60% return in a year of your money is what he's saying. And guaranteed, there's no one in the world that would guarantee or insure that as give you insurance for it, especially if you don't even know the name of the insurance company. It's just, oh.
Donating stolen money for advertising. Both operations use the same credibility building strategy of handing out large sums of money to charitable causes. This fools rubes into thinking that these scams are run by people with a lot of money, since philanthropy is usually something very rich people do. But this is all just part of the scam.
Yep, it's the same format as last time, as my liquidity partners did exactly the same thing.
My liquidity partner claimed portions of proceeds went to the Ruby Family Foundation for charitable work.
How does someone know if their money is dirty? Well, get it given to you on the crypto, and then you can track it, and then you can see where it come from. We've been following the transactions on the blockchain, and it's getting more and more interesting. The more we dive.
My liquidity partner claimed portions of proceeds went to the Ruby Family Foundation for charitable work.
Oh, did they? Here we go.
Goliath Ventures sponsors high-profile charity events in Orlando, donating to children's cancer organizations and Gandhi Day of Service, using stolen investor money to buy legitimacy. Recently, Goliath Ventures was advertised as a sponsor for the charity Kids Beating Cancer in Orlando. We contacted the charity and convinced them to remove Chris Delgado and Goliath Ventures because they would be accepting stolen funds.
We tried to convince them. We wrote to 8 charities. We got response from 2 of them, and the rest we got crickets from. But then we noticed they were scrubbing their social media and they were scrubbing their websites clean. They were trying to get rid of the logo, the square thing that looked like it was on, what's that program I love on TV? Squid Games. You know how they had the mask on the face? It was like they're trying to get that horrible triangle thing off their website. It's quite funny. But they didn't want to contact us because that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
The August 2024 Goliath newsletter boasts about donating $200,000 to a children's charity. But whose money was that really? It is all stolen investor money.
Yeah, so now we've got a wee bit more technical and there's some little stuff here. First of all, let's have a wee look at Liquidity Partners. Obviously, that website's been taken down by, not the Terminator who works with us. We're now in the mode of taking down websites. However, you can always go to archive.org or the Wayback Machine, search for that, and you can put a website domain name there. As long as it's been active for maybe 3 or 4 months, you can normally find the website. So here we are. A little boy waits. It does take a wee while because it's going through the archive, isn't it? It's got a wee man. It's going into the room, finding the website, putting it all together, and then voila, voila. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Oh, there we go. We're going to pop up. So just to give you a wee look at what it looks like, because you actually see, I'll get rid of this part here. You can see my Liquidity Partner. Very similar looking logos, of course. Same font, big font, narrow font at the bottom. And you can go through here. What it is, explains it. Identical, partner fee, KYC approved, 100% protected. Sound familiar? No lock period. The ideal investment. Give me your money. Trust me, bro. The brotherhood. Let's do it. What is liquidity pool? Well, they explained it better than us. I think we better read their version of it. Let's have a listen. Whoop, hold it.
A liquidity pool is a collection of cryptocurrency coins used to engage in the collection of fees from within the trades. This is run and secured by the unique smart contracts that interact in the decentralized exchange.
You know, they talk about smart contracts. Do you know what we can do? We can see who is the author of those smart contracts. But in Goliath's case, there's no smart contracts. There's no proof. There's nothing. Gone. No proof. It's funny. Anyway, let's stay focused. About liquidity pools, I'm not going to read that. But anyway, this is my liquidity partners. Our advantages. Oh, sorry, it's just funny. So it's not funny you've invested. And the other one is Goliath Ventures, which hopefully that will open up. I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's another document. We've got the documents. So here we are. Same thing. A WordPress website, must admit, fantastic. You come down here and there's the man. Here's the puppet on the string. He's just a puppet on a string. So you come down here, what we do. So to get 4% return for your $100,000, or you have to put 500,000 to get 4%, you get 3% if you put less than 500,000 in, but they squeeze you to put more money in. They are doing blockchain technology, okay, and liquidity pools, which we've already explained, and Bitcoin mining. Now, how many of you guys have seen their Bitcoin mining setup? Do I hear crickets? Do we hear crickets for a Bitcoin mining setup? You know where they have those tin sheds out in the Arizona desert normally and they're mining for crypto? Have you seen pictures of Chris's? Or did you look at this AI generated thing here and thought, wow, that looks flash, that must be real? Excuse me. And there they are on parade here. This is all their, this is the one that I like because I've got people going, oh, I'm not connected to them. And I go, but you're in the picture on their homepage. These people here. This is an event where I think it cost them $500,000 to put on an event. Just numbers, you know. And these are all, there he is all dressed up in his velvet jacket. Lord Diego, Lordy. There's the boys, the brotherhood. Not many females in there. There's to get started on the females. Hugging people, photos. Oh, he's nice, Christopher. Isn't he lovely? There they are, the boys. Oof, oof. We've seen the photos of them doing press-ups and pull-ups and threatening us. It's just fantastic. Getting a bit excited now. Oh, happy times. Great fella, that boy. Taking all your money. There, would you like another drink, sir? Oh, Lord. Where does it end? Look at that face. He's got a couple of earrings in his ears that investors paid for. Oh, dear. I just love these photos. But do check out his website. We've seen them blowing thousands and thousands of dollars on alcohol. How can he sustain his lifestyle? Oh, let me guess. But look at these photos. They speak for themselves, don't they? I would be asking people to remove my photos on here. These are the people that have introduced him to people. These are the people that have helped him get in their communities. These are the people that should be questioned. Who are introducing them to these communities? The golf course, horrified that he's on their course. He will never get a membership with them. He hasn't got one. Oh, let's get started. Anyway, let's go to both these domain names. So let's just focus on what happened. Domain name registration dates. Now, 20 days apart. First one, liquiditypartners.com, registered on the 29th of October 2021. Goliath Ventures Inc., registered on the 9th of October 2021. 20 days apart. That doesn't prove it, but boy, that's a coincidence, isn't it? And they even have the similar looking logos. Wonder if they've both got WordPress websites.
Both domains were registered through GoDaddy within 20 days of each other. This is not conclusive proof that both Ponzi schemes were started by the same party, but it's a pretty big red flag.
It's just a red flag. Breeze is getting a bit stronger on this blog at the moment. Wait until we carry on. A lot more to come, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting started. It is now 1:30 in the afternoon, morning.
It's also very likely that my liquiditypartner.com expired, and someone bought it after it expired. But I suspect that my liquiditypartner.com and GoliathVenturesInc.com were registered by the same GoDaddy user. GoDaddy can be compelled to reveal this through subpoena.
Yeah, that would be quite cool. Might put my wee banner on the bottom. There we go. There's my hardship banner. Poor little YouTuber living in New Zealand looking for donations. Doing it for the money. Oh, God. Imagine, I've got people ringing me up telling me I saved them $500,000. And then I say, oh, would we be able to get the contract address? And they go, oh, what do you want that for? I go, I just want to see what you thought you were getting into, sir. Oh, $500,000 I saved somebody the other day. $500,000. Oh, that's so cool. That's $500,000. No, $500,000? $500,000 we managed to yank out of Goliath Ventures. Another investor saved $500,000. Am I saying that right? 500,000? Is that $500,000? Yeah, $500,000. That's a lot of money, isn't it? So we saved somebody that much money. Isn't that cool?
The stolen contact list Ponzi recruitment pipeline court documents and victim accounts reveal that my liquidity partner and Sanciangco obtained contact lists of potential wealthy investors through bribery. My investigation into Chris Delgado and Goliath Ventures Incorporated has revealed that many people working in retail in Orlando catering to wealthy people, such as Julie Artrip and Tim Robinson from Rolex Boutique Millennia, along with Amit Nay from Tiffany & Company, sold their wealthy clients' private information to the scammers.
Did you hear what I said? People have been waiting for their Rolex watches. There's a waiting list. Christopher has been jumping the queue. And then he's been given these rich people's details so he can ask them if they want to invest. In the meantime, he's got the watches. This is what these people are doing. And this has come up numerous times. I've had one guy ring me up and tell me that he's got 4 or 5 Rolex watches and he's been waiting for his to come along. And some of the waiting list is like 2 years. But Christopher, he hasn't had to wait for his because these people are helping him jump the queue and giving them the contacts. That's why he's, who knows what really went on behind closed doors. And I don't really want to think what goes on behind closed doors.
This exact same tactic appears in Goliath Ventures, where Delgado mysteriously had access to lists of high net worth individuals in Orlando, particularly targeting successful professionals in the medical field. He would bribe employees of companies to get contact lists of these people.
Yeah, and that's what we believe has happened. Yeah, so, we could be wrong, but that's what they did last time. Okay, let me carry on. Sorry.
The Goliath Ventures scam has also made extensive use of real estate agents as super recruiters. Well, Verlin Sanciangco was a realtor himself.
Yeah, so this is one thing that we've found actually quite interesting. I'm just going to send Christopher a text because I've got a cell phone number here. Christopher, there you go. Ooh, and I'll also send him a link. You might want to come on the channel and talk to me as we're doing the thing. So I just sent Christopher a text to his cell phone. Thank you for the person that gave me a cell phone number. And Chris, why don't you reply to me? Send you lots of lovely messages there. Anyway, so he was a real estate agent, and we had a lot of people from Remax. There's 4 real estate agents. We know of one that's definitely, he put $1.5 million in, and I think he's got his money out. I can't remember. I think he took all his money out now, but he's left his house money on the platform, and we've got his email address. Is it Wade? Something. We've got his email address, and we put it into the database, and it comes back and it sends them back their passwords. So we've gone through everybody that we've contacted, And we can test to see whether they have invested in Goliath Ventures just by putting their email address, because the security is really, really big on their WordPress website. Can't believe it. Anyway, did I read that paragraph? I think I did, but I want to read it again.
This is not conclusive evidence that Sanciangco, someone I believe to be a fugitive, engineered and is running Goliath Ventures from Dubai. I just think that all this put together creates a damning picture.
It is a damning picture. Now, one of my subscribers is asking if my chat room is dead because no one's talking to him. Very hard for me to have a conversation. I see Susie in there, but normally I don't broadcast at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. But I wanted to say good morning, America, and I wanted you guys to wake up to this video. So I'm not sure what time it is in Orlando at the moment, which is my target audience. I do know that in the last 60 minutes, we've had 16 people on my website, which is quite exciting. And I can see the majority of them actually are in America. So let me just show you that because it's quite good. I like to see the impact I'm having. So if you want to go to this blog and have a look at it, in the description of the video that you're watching right now, this one, you can go to that little wee more button and you can actually read this blog that's live on my website at the moment. It's a good idea to become familiar with my website because this blog's actually been online for about 5 hours. I went for a run at 5 o'clock, so it's been online for nearly 7 hours. So check it out. But also it's quite neat when you're looking at the stats, watching people come and go on the website. And we can see how many people are looking at the articles and different articles that we do. We don't just go after Goliath. Oh, there we go. Space, a Kiwi here. Oh, there you go. Good, a Kiwi on stage. Nice, nice, nice. Nice to see you there. Nice. I'll just spread that down. I'll put the Kiwi on there. That's what a Kiwi looks like. Kiwis always call themselves Kiwi. Now, if you're not a New Zealander, a Kiwi is our bird, our national bird, and it doesn't have any wings. How about that? We've called a bird a Kiwi. It doesn't have any wings, but you have to be there. All right, let's get on to the next stage. Dubai, the safe haven for scammers. We call it the cesspool of Ponzi scheme scams. Everything I have busted has a connection to Dubai, and they don't care. I've even gone after the royal family before. They don't care. I've emailed officials after officials, and we had some correspondence with a guy, you might know, we watched a documentary of Jim Browning, and he was busting a big scam that was happening in Dubai, and then they ghosted him. Next minute, in the Dubai News, we saw this call center of 2,000 people being dragged out of it because they've been running a scam center there, right in the streets of Dubai, right in the build hub area. Absolutely amazing. But anyway, my point of that is, Dubai just let people get away with stuff.
After being convicted of wire fraud in October 2021 and sentenced to 24 months in federal prison scheduled to begin August 30th, 2022, in an unrelated real estate fraud scheme, where is Verlin Sanciangco now? Yeah.
So where is he? So real estate. So all these, if you're on the website, you can click on these links. What was that? Just while that's opening. Well, sometimes we're called a fruit. Oh, that's right. Yeah. We used to have these Chinese gooseberries, and then somebody copyrighted our national fruit. So we now call ourselves kiwi fruit, and that's a nice furry sort of like fruit. It's all green. That's our national fruit. But it is quite funny how somebody copyrighted the name Chinese gooseberries and we couldn't use it. I don't know why it's got Chinese gooseberries when we're New Zealanders. I can't remember the story. I might have just got that all wrong. Anyway, so we've got this real estate fraud scheme, and you can read the documents all about this, and you can read about what he did. So, I mean, people go, ooh, how can you prove? I want rock solid evidence that these guys are running a scam. Well, the history speaks for itself, and you can read the whole history of the alleged problem here, and the person's name that's on this here. It just happens to be Verlin. What do they call it? Sir Vernon? Sir Vernon. So you go there, read all that, and you'll be laughing. All right, let's carry on.
While awaiting to start his prison sentence, Sanciangco asked for permission to go to the UAE for work, and the judge foolishly seems to have allowed him to go. He went to the UAE. Sources suggest he's operating from Dubai, UAE, a jurisdiction notorious for harboring financial criminals and making extradition nearly impossible.
Yeah, reminds me of another guy that had 14 million, and he was part of the $1.9 billion scam that I was in Bloomberg with. And they thought he was a flight risk, so they took his passport off him. 2 days before they charged him, they gave his passport back, and then they charged him, and now he's living somewhere that no one knows. And that's so this guy just got charged, got sentenced, and then got asked if he can go on holiday to the UAE first, and that's the last we saw of him.
Dubai has become the preferred base of operations for international Ponzi schemers. It offers luxury, limited law enforcement cooperation with the US, and easy access to both legitimate banking and cryptocurrency infrastructure.
Yeah, don't piss them off. They take you out to the desert. Had a guy that was trying to get out of Dubai, Gareth Blakely. He was very depressed. He couldn't get out of the country, and they took his passport off him for about a year and a half. He had to get a GoFundMe account to get himself home, and he's home safe. And he was accused of stealing all the money from a scam when they used an exit strategy. He told me, I actually recorded him and broadcast him in live, but he told me that if you piss off the government, they literally take you out to the desert, dig a little hole.
Chris Delgado, based on sources, owns 2 apartments in Dubai along with a black Ferrari. Delgado also has extensive links to the UAE.
Yeah, so I asked the guy that pimps out his cars, and which was a fantastic guy, really helped us with just the facts, didn't put anyone under the bus. He just told us how it was and his business arrangement, no problems at all. But it was quite funny because he said, if you look through Chris's, Instagram account, which he's banned me from, please let me have a look. There's a black Lamborghini. He said, I didn't do any work on that one. So I presume the black Lamborghini ain't done very well. But anyway, he's got 2 apartments and a black, black Ferrari, is it? Oh, I didn't know it was a Ferrari. I thought it was a Lamborghini. Well, there you go. I learned something. Any car, we're not in that car market. Like, I don't know if you noticed that the salary of a YouTuber isn't that great, but difference between a black Ferrari and a Lamborghini, I don't really know. I think it's the wee emblem on the steering wheel. But anyway, let's carry on. What else? New investor money is paying old investors. Come on, guys. This is a Ponzi scheme. You need to research what a Ponzi scheme is. Remember,
there is no investment that can consistently generate a 60% annual compound return with 0% risk over many years. Not in crypto, not in traditional markets. If there was, it would be competed away and revert to average returns fast.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. People call me a dream stealer, but I don't want to be a nightmare maker. It just doesn't work. So, claiming that there's high returns where possible with 0 risk was the only proof you need to know this was a scam. High returns, 0 risk, and insurance. Come on, guys. You are business people. Did you inherit your money from somebody? Or did you go out there as an entrepreneur and make it from grassroots? If you got given the money, in my experience, everyone that gets given a lot of money gives it away quicker than they get given it. Why do you do that? But if you're a business person, come on, high returns with 0 risk and insurance from an invisible insurance company. Sound too good to be true?
Actual DeFi liquidity pool returns after fees and impermanent loss equals typically 5-20% annually. The Goliath Ventures scam and my liquidity partner both worked by simply taking money from new investors and paying it out to old investors as profit.
Yeah, so just remember, I don't know if we mentioned this so far, but the difference between Goliath Ventures and my liquidity partners is one's already been done. One's already been, caught. That's the difference. So let's just read a couple of paragraphs so you're not here all night.
Abuse of women, misogyny, check. Chris Delgado and Verlin Sanciangco both have a reputation for extreme misogyny and abuse of women, as does Tomislav Tomo Mijanovic Jr., who is Chris Delgado's super recruiter. Verlin Sanciangco routinely had 4-6 Russian prostitutes working for him in the UAE, who'd be around him for business meetings and other things. Chris Delgado is notorious for spending time at a private club in Orlando, Florida that has been credibly accused by several sources of sex trafficking. Delgado has slept with employees of this club, documented fact.
So I've seen videos of girls walking around in lingerie serving drinks to these businessmen. Then I go to Tomo's Instagram and I go through and listen to some of his posts. This guy is an animal and he has no respect for women. He treats them like meat and he is absolutely disgusting individual. And this is what these guys think is acceptable. Now, I reckon 50% of the people on the planet, the females, don't like being treated like they're slabs of meat. And this is what I'm getting at. So, okay, everyone likes pretty girls walking around in lingerie when you pay $25,000 a year to be a member of a club. But do they? I actually get quite embarrassed if I'm out with my partner and there's some woman walking around with half her ass cheeks hanging out or boobs coming out the top like she's going to fall over and spill the drinks, whatever. I just don't. I think that's just. It's not what. It's just not what I'm into. I mean, I'm a guy, but come on. I mean, these men. It's like the brother club. I mean, those. What are the? Are we back in the dark ages or something? Or
When a female friend accused Delgado of running a Ponzi scheme, he called her a prostitute. When she countered that she was not, he retorted that all women are prostitutes.
did you hear that? All women are prostitutes. This is the guy. Okay, let's just pretend that Christopher's running a legitimate operation. What about ethics, values, and all that good stuff that we get taught by our parents? All women are prostitutes. What does that mean? What does that, like.
Delgado has also allowed women to invest into the Goliath Ventures Ponzi scheme and has given them unusually high rates of return on their investment. Delgado has 8 girlfriends, many he encourages to get plastic surgery. Keep in mind, Delgado is still married.
Yes. Have evidence that some people don't know that he's going through a divorce. He's still married. So he's still got children. Well, you will have children for the rest of your life, but yeah, we've got 8 girlfriends. It's crazy. Well, I don't know if you call them 8. I don't know how you. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there.
Tomislav Tomo Mijanovic Jr. has a history of abusing women, cheating on his 8-month pregnant wife, and trying to name his daughter after the porn star he cheated with. He also routinely responds with slavish, fawning, embarrassingly cringe comments to the notorious criminal, misogynist, and sex trafficker Andrew Tate, who he seems to be in business with.
Yeah, we just saw them on a yacht, 50 brothers in arms, looking after it, got each other's back, and all that sort of carry on, the brotherhood. But think about this. You have an affair on your 8th month, your wife who's 8 months pregnant, with a porn star, and then to show your remorse, you try to call the kid the name of the porn star you had the affair with. It's not good, Tomo. It's not good.
According to an MLP victim who was recruited by a millionaire friend and ultimately lost $50 million, Sanciangco operated from a 700 SQFT office in Dubai's iconic Burj Khalifa Tower on the 153rd floor. While the office appeared professional on the surface, this victim specifically noted the bevy of Eastern European women working in the office, an observation conspicuous enough to mention years later. The victim described it as unusual and deliberate, suggesting their presence was meant to be noticed and to serve a purpose beyond typical office administration.
Yeah. We could always do a tally up and see whether pretty women get more sales than all women are beautiful. I don't need to finish that conversation, do I?
Sanciangco's top operatives included Sofia Puzhaykina, Operations Director, and Anastasia Nepomniaschik, Chief Administrative Officer. These weren't merely administrative staff filling conventional roles. According to victim accounts, these women actively helped attract and deceive investors. Their deployment appears strategic, using attractive, professional women to disarm skeptical, primarily male investors, providing a veneer of legitimacy and creating social dynamics where investors were less likely to aggressively question or challenge women in positions of apparent authority. The potential for romantic or sexual enticement of high-value targets cannot be dismissed given the overall operational pattern.
It's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it? Adam and Eve and Steve. I have never been manipulated by a woman. Well, maybe a little. But, is it the old saying, sex sells? Just saying. And so let's use it. Men just go cross-eyed and do whatever we want. They get in a trance and we don't know what we're doing and we just start giving our money away to pretty women. Is that what we do?
Sanciangco's assistant from the Philippines, Cheryl Soriano, reportedly fled to the Philippines when the My Liquidity partner scheme began collapsing. Sources indicate she is currently in possession of some portion of Sanciangco's stolen funds. This raises critical questions about her role in the operation. Was she a willing accomplice who took her cut when the scheme collapsed? Was she a victim who seized an opportunity to escape with some form of compensation for her exploitation? Or was she a trusted insider who knew too much and had to be paid off to disappear and remain silent?
Oh, well, there you go. There's life in the chat room now. Velvet's here. Velvet, talk to Susie. Please keep our space, is it Academy, occupied. And I can't say your name, Zebai, but nice to see a few people in the chat room. Yes, you're wondering what I'm doing here. Even I don't know what I'm doing here. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. Wonder I'm still alive. I'm dying to go to bed, but at least I don't have to get up in the morning and do this. I can just do it now. But this was so exciting. I had to get up and do this one. This is so cool.
The fact that she had access to move substantial amounts of stolen money suggests she was far more than administrative support. She was trusted with access to the core money pipeline of a massive fraud operation.
Oh, who does that sound like? Nadia? Is it Nadia? Is that Nadia? I don't know. Nadia Brinkus? She's got like signing authority for Diego. So she can, what do they call that? Power of attorney. So she can sign and buy his houses for him. That's, I'd be worried if I was, she might not be up to his standards. Or maybe she's been there already. Who knows?
Fabian Kumpasch, Karl Moon Runefeld, aka Karl Erich Martin Fabian Kumpasch, a German national, is a co-founder of Goliath Ventures along with Chris Delgado. He was also deeply involved in the My Liquidity partner, MLP, scam with Verlin Sanciangco. Kumpasch is not just a co-founder of Goliath Ventures alongside Delgado, he was also deeply embedded in the MLP scam. This makes him one of the critical links that lead us to think these aren't two separate Ponzi schemes, but rather a continuous criminal enterprise that merely rebranded after MLP collapsed.
Yeah, and yesterday when I was doing a video, I named a Ponzi scheme that started off, and this is the names, and I won't go all of them. I'll give you an idea, but they started off as Hypertech, Hypercapital, Hyperfund, Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hypercosmos. I forgot that one yesterday, and then Diversal, and then they started going VidiLook 1, VidiLook 2, and then they went to Vend, and then they it was called VidiLook, but they said it would never end, so they called it VidiLook 1. And then it ended, and then it went 2, and then 3, and then 4, and I think they've just started 5 up again. And then it all goes to We Are All Satoshi. It goes to they just keep rebranding themselves. So this one, for me, is just like, oh yeah, that's what they do. They just rinse and repeat. They learn from the last, and they do things better in the second. It doesn't mean they're making proper money. It just means that they know how to get those people excited. The investors. You know, guys, I would sit there in a room with you and talk to you until I was blue in the face if it helped you get your money. You will not be able to get your money out. But you probably can't now. He's giving the money back at the moment because as soon as he says no to somebody, the person that took out $500,000 got their $500,000 out because they wouldn't tell the name of their sponsor. We always ask, who was your sponsor? And they, we don't want to say because they've got millions in, they said. And I don't want them to know. And you know, I don't want them to know I'm taking my money, but I've got my money back and I just rang up to thank you. But the person that sponsored them into it got millions in. So, you know, that's why this person got their $500,000 out, they reckon. Other people have got their money out too. So don't muck around. I mean, let's just say I've got it completely wrong and Chris does want to open the books and Chris does want to prove how he's making the money and he wants to show you how he's doing it. And he's just about going to do a YouTube video and show you. Why wouldn't you take your money out now and just test the waters? Take it out, get your money to home base. Some people have taken out their principal and left all the, don't take out more money than you put in. I can tell you that that's not a good idea, as you'll find out here. Anyway, so the evidence, oh dear, did I read that? I don't know if I did, and I'm sorry if I did, but I forget what I read.
Evidence of Kumpasch's dual involvement includes, based on sources, Kumpasch was present at key meetings between the MLP and Goliath Ventures teams, helping facilitate the transition of the scam structure from one entity to the other.
Yeah, I hope you guys read this.
He leveraged the same investor recruitment networks across both schemes, using his social media presence to attract victims, first to MLP, then seamlessly pivoting to Goliath Ventures.
Yeah, they're just passing the scone.
Kumpush's involvement with Goliath Ventures intensified precisely as MLP began imploding in late 2022/early 2023, suggesting he helped orchestrate the rebrand rather than coincidentally joining a new venture.
Yep. Rebranded.
His social media is a carefully curated facade of wealth, first-class flights, Lamborghinis, luxury watches, and exotic locations, all designed to manufacture the appearance of success that draws in new victims. This performative wealth display is a hallmark of both scams.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just quite sad when you do this for a living, guys, that you just see this sort of stuff going on all the time. Right, let's carry on. Now, this one's quite interesting.
Fabian Kumpush is a fervent believer in the secret and the so-called law of attraction, the pseudoscientific belief that positive thinking can literally manifest wealth and success. His social media is littered with references to manifestation, visualization, and attracting abundance through thoughts alone.
Yeah, but the abundance is for him, I think.
This is not a coincidence. The law of attraction ideology has become a common thread among Goliath Ventures participants and modern Ponzi schemers.
Yeah, so obviously we've seen these guys on TV. This was actually a screenshot of the video. If you right-click on this and do a Google search, you'll be able to find the video where this was screenshotted off, and you can listen to how wonderful these guys are. But this is where it starts. So I'm just going to read all their names so you've got it good.
Fabian Kumpush, Christopher Delgado, and Vance Jordan Fundora.
Yeah, so there they are. Right, here we go. Carl Moon. What a funny name.
Carl Moon Runefelt, also known as Carl Eric Martin, operating under the alias The Moon Carl, is another critical player connecting both schemes. A Swedish cryptocurrency influencer with a massive social media following, Moon served as a key promotional figure for both operations.
Yep, so, let's just do it again. Rinse and repeat. Use the same people we used last time, eh, guys?
Moon actively promoted my Liquidity partner to his hundreds of thousands of followers, lending the scam credibility through his influencer status in the crypto space.
Yup.
Based on sources, Moon has played a behind-the-scenes role within Goliath Ventures using identical tactics, suggesting either complicity in the rebrand or willful blindness to the obvious red flags.
They don't need to worry about the red flags, do they? No, it's not their money that they're putting at risk.
Moon received substantial compensation from both schemes, I believe, likely through both direct payments and preferential investment terms that guaranteed returns, while regular investors lost everything.
Yeah, so this is where we believe that money could have been changed hands with crypto. So when you're giving us your contracts, which we've got quite a few contracts, we want to know where the money, we want to follow the money. And we don't follow Chris's money, we follow people who have invested money, and we'll find links back to these guys. And this is how the blockchain's so brilliant, because we can find where the money goes.
His involvement follows a disturbing pattern where crypto influencers lend legitimacy to fraudulent schemes in exchange for payment, then quietly distance themselves when the scam collapses.
Yeah. I see it so many. I've seen the Runway guys, they rebranded their channel. They were called the Bull Run guys, I think, and then they rebranded the channel to the Runway guys. They spent 3 months promoting a pump and dump opportunity, which told everyone that they could buy these tokens in a pre-sale for 15 cents each, because on market day they're going to list them at 25 cents each. So 11,000 people actually participated in the pre-sale. They didn't get their tokens until after they launched, so they couldn't even sell them on market day once they launched. They launched the tokens at 5 cents each. So the 15% people just paid 3 times more than by the end of the 24 hours, those same tokens are worth 1 cent. And then everyone was crying foul. And then they said, we got advice from somebody who said that we should list our token at 5 cents each. And that's why we did it. And then the Runway guys deleted all the videos. Did one video saying, sorry about that, guys, we got a little wrong. In the meantime, they both had Ferraris.
I personally believe Carl Moon Runefelt, aka Carl Eric Martin, to be a sociopath who lies about being a billionaire while herding his followers from one crypto scam to another, making money from crypto exchange referral systems.
Yeah, that's my belief. You can believe whatever you want. So there's an influencer for you. I want to be like him. I want to drive that car. I saw a video that they sell these cars. That car can do 400 kilometers an hour, I think, which is a lot. They sell these cars to people and they're not allowed to start them because they don't have coolers in them. That's what I heard. So they're made for the racetrack. So I think a certain type of these cars. So you can only when you buy the car, they drop it off, and they have 4 guys that push the car into your garage. Can you imagine that? Just saying, crazy. All right, so that was Carl Moon, otherwise known is it Redified, whatever his name is.
Runefeld.
Runefeld. Why do everyone have strange names? Why can't you just have strange names like the heck? Hey. All right, let's learn about him.
The fact that both Kampush and Moon, not to mention Delgado, were involved in promoting and operating both schemes is a fascinating indicator that Goliath Ventures might be a rebranding of the Liquidity partner fraud.
Yeah. So what we're saying to our special agents is, why don't you just pull out the old file and do a continuation? You know, how hard is it? You just go, oh, we've got the blueprint already for this investigation. We'll just use it again. No problems. We don't need all this intel. We don't need the 90 people that you've got on your database with persons of interest, Danny. We can just go back to the source and knock these guys out.
Great. Here's the Tyler Peters and Lauren Peters section with only light grammar corrections and bold highlights added for easier reading.
There you go. So I'll be honest, when I go through this, I asked ChatGPT to make this a lot nicer. So I write the blog and then I tell it to go through and make boldings and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of embarrassing when that comes up on there, but I'm not embarrassed because that's what I do. I tell everyone that. So when I go in there into my little wee blog, I might actually see if I can go. I don't want to. I'll go down there. I'm going to fix it now because I don't like that. Edit post. Open that over there. Go back down to here. Let's see where it is. I'll go down there. Always somebody said to me, and I say this quite a lot, that if you can do a job in 10 minutes, if you can do a job in 2 minutes, do it straight away. And that will save a lot of grief for everybody. So if we go down here, and now we go down to Mooney, wait for that to update. I read through this blog because I was trying to do this one before I ever went to tomorrow morning, before I went to bed. And I went through and I looked for all those lines. Anyway, now we can have a commercial break. Let's go down to there. We've seen those boys. There he is. And now we're here. And there we are. So there we go. Tyler's Peters and Lauren Peters. So we're not sure now. Somebody said that the voice that I had of Tyler Peters, who's trying to get his video removed, didn't sound like Tyler. It sounded more like Christopher's brother fishing for information, which I thought was quite interesting. So we need someone who might have a recording of Tyler so we can compare the audio files. But Tyler theoretically rang up and asked us for some advice to see whether it was a scam or not. And we talked to him for quite a long time, had a good conversation with him. And then 3 weeks later, here he is in Munich going clink at the German beer fest with Delgado. Couldn't believe it. And along with Lauren as well. But yeah, so what's their involvement? Well, you may be surprised.
Tyler Peters and Lauren Peters, Galaxy Investment Co. and Luxury Jet Ski Rentals. There are many enablers of the Goliath Ventures Ponzi scheme. But Tyler Peters and Lauren Peters have played a pernicious and prolific role in recruiting others into this scam and profiting from it mightily while being fully aware that it's a fraud.
Yeah. Naughty.
I may do a series on Tyler Peters and Lauren Peters, tracing their assets and how they were brought into Goliath Ventures by a high-level employee who is now having second thoughts about the role he's playing in this scam.
Yeah. Thank you about that. So these photos here, I think we've blurred out the photos. I can't remember. Some of my Avengers helped prepare this photo. Loves to party with stolen money. There he is. Hello, Tyler. And there they are. Oh, the dog. You should have blurred out the doggy's face too, Avengers. That's really cool. So that's what we do. And that's Tyler Peters' wedding day. Oh, hope you're enjoying it while you're on the outside. Not for long. He won't take his money out because he wants rock solid evidence. So I asked him to provide me rock solid evidence that it's not a Ponzi scheme. And he said he doesn't understand the technical liquidity pool stuff. He's just trusting me, bro.
Summary of the facts is this: Goliath Ventures Incorporated, Chris Delgado, Orlando, FL Ponzi scheme collapses. Hundreds of millions in investor funds have already been siphoned off to fund lavish lifestyles and fund other criminal enterprises like Aspire Rejuvenation Center, which is a money laundering front. The victims aren't just losing money, they are funding an international criminal network that preys on hopes, dreams, and hard-earned savings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and that's why we like reporting this stuff, because we know we get the evidence. And that's what just blows me away. I'm just fixing up a couple of little weeks. I like my blogs looking right. I actually must admit I did have some help writing this one. And then I've gone through and tidied it up a wee bit. Just little wee things, you know, like that full stop's bold. So now if you go to here, hopefully I'll get it to the same spot. You watch. That full stop still bold. Strange. Anyway, right. So where were we? The facts. The question is, when will the question isn't when will Goliath Ventures collapse? It's how many people will go to prison when it does, and whether the puppet masters. Oh, I can't even. Whether the puppet masters in Dubai will ever face justice. Why do you think Tomo was off to Dubai doing his peace out, his I'm out sign on the one first class flight he was having to Dubai? Anyway, he claims, even did a video saying this is his new home. And then next minute, a couple of days later, he's posting another wee video on his Instagram account, which is going to be shut down pretty soon, stating that he was only kidding. But that's in other videos we've seen him saying that in 6 months' time he will be living in Dubai. And he, in the same video, he claimed that he can afford to buy 7 houses with cash. Wonder why that is.
What is the big takeaway from this? Goliath Ventures Incorporated Ponzi scheme has been running for a lot longer than most people realize. Chris Delgado may be just a puppet who is being controlled by the actual scammers who set this whole thing in motion. Chris Delgado, if you believe him to be a legitimate businessman, why would he be wrapped up in this My Liquidity partner Ponzi scheme for years? Why was he hanging out with Verlin Sanciangco, a financial predator? Is that something a successful businessman would do? Probably not.
You think about that, guys. Let's just say I got it wrong and Christopher is running a legitimate company that can give you $60,000 if you invest $100,000 per year. Just say I've got it wrong. Why is he hanging out with a criminal? Why is he associating with people that have been, fined and sentenced, court appearances? Why is he hanging out with those people for? We've got the receipts. What else do you want? Do you want to know his blood type? Do you want to know how many toes he's got on his left foot? Come on, guys, wake up. Okay, new parties of interest. So I'm going to read these out because I can't read them out. But these are we've actually got 500 companies that are all connected together in a database where we can see all the directors, and we've linked them all together with amazing science. And I'm not going to show you that because it's all in Excel sheets. But these are the companies that we're interested in now. So if you have any information about any of these companies or people, we want some intel from you. You can help us bust this even out wider. Let's have a listen to this.
Verlin Sanciangco, aka Verlin Sanciangco, Sir Verlin, Tina Liu, Anastasia Nepomniachtchik, Fabian Kumpush, was already on a radar. Anthony Ratossa, just like Delgado, is a copy of Verlin Sanciangco. Verlin Sanciangco may be a copy of Anthony Ratossa. AM Legal Consultancy Limited, Giovanni Marcial, Mingenix Technology, Quezon City Mingenix Technology Incorporated, Smart Contract Solutions Limited, Ruby Family Office Limited, Wes Consulting Group Limited.
Yeah. So we're not saying anyone on there is guilty. They're just persons of interest. We'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind, sir. And who's this guy? Even I don't know this. Oh, look at that. Is that Switzerland? I like that. Here he is. How? Brain ideas. It's quite cool, isn't it? Oh, look. There's a game here. Let's have a look at that. Who's that guy? Who do you know that guy? If you know that guy, let us know more about him. We'd like to know who he is. Oh, iGaming providers. Oh, let's see. Okay. Interesting. Know nothing about him at all. To be honest, that's the very first time I clicked on that. I've got Avengers help me out. That's what we do. All right. Be sure to read. In doubt. I don't believe Danny. Oh, he's not making it all up. He's just doing it for YouTube clicks. All right, then. Well, I might as well stop what I'm doing then, because I'm not making any money out of this game. So if you do want to support me, please do. But here we go. Be sure to read the civil complaint, the fugitive Dubaian, whatever that is, judgment, default judgment signed, criminal complaint, the plea deal, judgment, and liquidity's patent recovery petition letter. All those documents go off. And look, what's that? See, they're all there. They're all proof. They're called the receipts. That's how we roll. That's how the Avengers roll. You can come here and read to your heart's content. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, read those there, and think to yourself, why am I associating with this guy? Get your money out, guys. We've already cost them millions. Hopefully, we're going to cost them more. Now, this ain't my first rodeo. I've done over 2,400 videos. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been featured in the New York Times for my quest to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I was involved in a 10-month investigation with Bloomberg TV, come out with a 20-minute video exposing a $1.9 billion scam that I've been chasing since Sam Lee come from Australia. So they got me in there, and I did a bloody good job. And I've also been in the Guardian newspaper. I've been on ABC News, National News. I've been in all the newspapers you can think of. They always ask me questions. They're always scared to publish my stuff. However, I have also been published. I've published over 1,400 blogs on my website. I've done 11 blogs on this one. So I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to Christopher. In fact, I think I wake up at night time and go, Christopher. Because the first one we did, the first blog was because we have always said, or I have always said, that he will fall on his own sword. So we looked at the glossy promises and the shaky contracts in the first blog. So you can go in there. We've got his contracts. His own contracts are where we got most of our red flags from. So that was the first blog. Then they said that they were compliant. They were going after retirement fund money. And they were telling people all sorts of things. Smoke and mirrors. They were telling people, they were white labeling their own investment opportunities under a company called Black Block, not Black Rock, which is similar, and also another company called WM. What was it? Wealth Management, Wealth MD. And there's a real company called Wealth MD, but just so happens their one's called My Wealth MD, but they don't have that on their website, just in case you get confused. And they were going after retirement money. Yes, because people don't take their money out of their retirement money until they need it, which gives them longer for this Ponzi scheme to grow. Just saying. So that's what the compliance illusion, the smear campaign. Then they published this 4-page document, gave it to me, and tell everybody that I was just trying to smear their name. I woke up one morning and thought, Christopher, I hate you, and I'm going to ruin your life. And I don't even know the guy, but I got all these people telling me to have a look at this opportunity. I had families telling me they can't stop other family members investing. Some people said they've mortgaged their house to invest in this opportunity. And I got so many people telling me to have a look at this. And I went, oh, here we go again. So they wrote a reply saying that I was jealous. I was jealous of Christopher and his Learjet and his 8 girlfriends. Oh my God, a smear campaign. And then we had the Bookkeeper Vanishing Act. That's right. So it was, we'll call it Bringus. Is it nearly, I've forgotten her name now. Oh, Nadia Bringus. So she's the bookkeeper, and she shut down a company in the state of Florida. She shut it down on the 2nd of September. And then Goliath Ventures closed the company down in Florida on the 3rd of December. And we thought, wow, that was easy. We scared them off. They shut up shop, hiding the evidence by shutting down the bookkeeper, and also closed the company down. And of course, if you're an investor, you would have known about this. But we just happened to be in the newsletter reels. We were getting all the newsletters that the investors were getting. Thanks, guys. We've got them all on file, and no one was told about this. So you invested in a company, and that company shuts down. They don't even tell you. But what did they do? Well, on the same day, they opened up in Wyoming, which is a fantastic state if you want to run a scam. Most scams that I go after all have Wyoming licenses. Versus when I hear, oh, they've opened up, and I go, Wyoming? And they go, oh my God. So anyway, that's what happened. And so did Bringus, Nadia Bringus, who also seems to work for Harry Samuels and has done so for a while. So we've tracked all her, but she shut down the company, reopened it in a different state. So we thought she'd disappeared. So we did a blog about that. Fake audits. Oh, that was sensational. Yes, they had a independent person doing an audit. It just so happened to be the director of Black Block or Wealth Management. He was on both companies. And he was also, and Black Block, we've got a video here of Christopher at a Black Block meeting telling people how to set themselves up as an LLC so that they can work for him, because he didn't want it to be multi-level marketing. And then it was all set up so that all the money would go through Goliath Ventures. And they told people not to mention percentages and not to talk about, so people couldn't work out how much money they made. It was hilarious. A 1 hour, 47-minute video of a video that they didn't want seen. And we've put it on the internet and we've debunked it, and it is breathtaking. We've actually got all the timestamps worked out on that video. If you haven't watched that, that one video alone would blow this out. As I said, they're falling on their own swords. Then we did a bit of research to see whether, I never got this word right all the way through.
FinCEN.
They don't have any FinCEN registrations. And there's another one they have, I think in Wyoming, they don't have any license to trade or handle securities. And then they went to the Vault 25 and paid Patrick Ben David $1 million so Christopher could get up on the stage and tell people that he does pancake swaps and helps people with their passive incomes, like he didn't even know what he's doing. Anyway, long story short, they now changed what they call themselves. They're not trying to be Liquidity. What are they? Not trying to be an investment, a private investment portfolio. They're not. They renamed themselves. I can't quite get that right because I'm tired. But anyway, then we did a video. We did a video in a blog about what happens if you've taken money. So all the charities who have taken all the money, and I know the charities need the money and they're really doing wonderful things, but they've taken this dirty money. And I've spoken to somebody who owns a big charity and they're prepared to give that money back. And that's really sad because families are going to hurt because that funding is needed. But you can't take money from a scam because he's like gone into the bank, stole the money and given it out to everybody to build his credibility. That is why I want this guy stopped. That's why I'm asking you guys, if you've invested, we'll keep it anonymous. You come to me, you know, we can help you keep yourself clean. But if you're going to keep silent, we've got 90 people at the moment on our persons of interest list, and we've also got another 20 to add. So we're nearly over 110 people now that we've got on our persons of interest list. So if you think you can keep quiet, don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your families. Don't do it to your friends. Look, you invested. There's nothing wrong in investing in something that sounds too good to be true, but there is something wrong by not telling us and not letting us put you in touch with the right people. But don't take out more money than you've put in, because it's really, you know, you could find yourself in jail. I've even got a noise for that. I don't know if that works. Sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, okay, so then we had the security questions. Why Goliath Ventures contacts that's what went through the contracts and why they're illegal. That was really, really cool. Then we compared it to this is quite funny, this one I thought, what real funds look like what a real fund would look like, a real company that was running a fund, what it actually would look like. Stolen money gifts and epic. I can't even read that word, and I wrote that word. That's really bad, Danny. I don't like being dyslexic sometimes. Maybe it's late at night.
Uneconomical deals.
Uneconomical deals. You know, this is just people, you know. And then we've got today's one, which is FBI Director Kash Patel. I can't even see that. Ron
DeSantis.
DeSantis and Andrew Tate. Oh, dear. So you can read all about that. So just for shits and giggles, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to show you my pictures, because I like my pictures. I've done one today. I wasn't going to do one today, and then I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm up late now. I might as well create a picture. But you'll see I have a lot of fun doing these pictures. So let's just have a wee look at them. So that's the first one we did. There's Chris with his house of cards all falling over. Let's shut that one down. The second one was, show me the receipts. We wanted to see the proof. It never happened. So it was like a circus show. Next one, Chris realised we were trying to figure out how much money he had actually stolen from people, and we've fully exposed him, and he's got his Learjet outside. Then we were trying to research. We've got flight logs. We've actually written to the aviation people to find out whether they should be using these jets the way they are, and also who owns the jets. Really interesting stuff. This one here was blog number 4. Remember this one? Because this is me actually screwing down the lid on the coffin because we felt like we fully exposed him. And then we found people. Everyone on this plane, we know who they were, and we found them through, even right down to Kat sitting there beside him. Oh, there we go. We've got the words on this one. We've got Kat, Nick, Alex, Michael, Tomo, and Michael again. There's 2 Michaels in there, was there? So we had a lot of fun doing that one. I enjoyed doing the images. This one here was when we was telling you guys, get your money out. Now, come on, guys. That was about 2 weeks ago. Get your money out. If you haven't read those signs, stop the lies. I am not jealous. Serious fraud. Ponzi refund now. Show us the proof. All the basic stuff you should be asking somebody who's got all your money. This one, missing registration papers, sweating like a rapist he is there. Oh, terrible. Then what have we got to? Oh, that's right. Then we talked about clawbacks, and we had people go, why can't I keep my Ponzi profits? And that's meant to be the men in black pulling the money back, which is really cool. This one here, this is when we released the persons of interest list. And as we said, I think that time we only had a handful of people, but now, and then it was off to Munich in the private jet celebrating his birthday. I think it was the 18th. I can't remember now, 18th of September. So we had a lot of fun doing that. But then he was also on stage telling everyone that he does pancake swaps and liquidity pools to help people build a passive income. That's what he does for work. It was like his first day at school when he read that out. And then we realized he'd been fired from his job. Yes, he was, what was the name of the company he was working for? In-N-Out Burger. He was a burger flipper. Now, no offense to anyone that works at McDonald's. I appreciate them when I go and get the fries. I'm a plant-based eater, so I don't eat much meat, but I do eat the fries at McDonald's. But he got fired because he decided that there's some tickets to a Adele tickets concert, and he decided to take them home instead of give them to the management team to give to other people. He just decided to help himself, and they didn't like it when he took these tickets home and gave them to his wife, so they fired him. But don't worry, he admitted it all on a podcast, which is actually just really funny, but that's what you do. And then this one here, this is the one we did last. This one here, I really enjoyed it. What I really did enjoy, that dress that lady's wearing is actually, that's Tomo getting arrested. He's a big boy. Bigger they are, the bigger they fall. Danny and Goliath, get it? Danny and Goliath, David, Danny, get it? Anyway, that dress, that was the same dress she was wearing when she was at this club as the entrance meter and greeter. Yeah, look at those muscles, mate. You must work out a lot. You haven't done any needles, have you? There will be old needles to get those muscles big and puffy, pumping iron all day long. Woo! Keep the threats coming, Tomo. We're going to do a vlog all about you soon. It's going to be a humdinger. I've got a lot of people sending us a lot of intel about you, mate. Oh, it's going to be good. Alrighty. All right. And the other one, how did I do this investigation? Well, I hacked into their computers and I snuck in there late at night and I got a crowbar and I cried open the door. No, we don't do that sort of stuff. We just use the internet. We're brilliant. Open source intelligence, they call it. We go in and we ask people for information. We research the information. We get all the PDFs. We spend ages going through it all. We have got a friggin' amazing team of Avengers. We've even got people, one of them I call a strategist, another one I call the Terminator, another one we called the Sleuth. They know how to go. And we've also got Bob and we call him Larry sometimes, but we've got a team. We've got crypto analysis people. Somebody said I should get a lawyer in. And I said, I don't want a lawyer because they'll probably tell me I can't do anything. So people like, we probably need somebody like somebody at the bottom of the cliff to help us out. But we've got an amazing team of individuals. I often talk about me being the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. If you don't know where I got that name from, I was in the New York Times and they come out with the headlines, the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. And I sort of carried it for a few years and it's been great. But I'm not really into crypto, just that crypto is used to, get the money in because it's so easy and hard to track. But I actually am an investigative journalist and I research things and I'm very good. I'm dyslexic, so I think different. I'm good with databases. I can look at a word and say, I've seen it before. I can store that in my memory on the computers. Brilliant. That's what I do. And that's why we're such a strong force to go up against. So you can read all about me on there, but I think I'm pretty much done. And there I am dressed up in my shield because my website's protected by Google Shield. They protect me from attacks, which is really, really nice. And that's a real big going concern, and that's what really happens in the real world. Now, we've still got quite a few people in America who are looking at us at the moment, so thank you for that. Remember, go to my website. If you can donate and help me, I really do appreciate it. It keeps the wolves away from the door. I don't get the big money to go on these yachts, and I haven't been on a private plane ever in my life. And I don't have a Lambo and I don't have a black Ferrari, but I do have a sense of humor and I do have a way of saying thank you to the people that help me fight these battles. It is 2:30 in the morning here and I'm going to go to my bed and it's going to be cold because I've got to put my electric blanket on. But I wake up in the morning, I grab my phone, I get all my messages from my Avengers and I start planning and plotting my day. This blog here is a humdinger. This is sort of like telling everybody where these guys have come from with their Ponzi scheme and scam. This is just another day in the office for the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. And I thank everyone that's been here in the chat room chatting to us. Sorry I haven't had a much of a chatty day. If you go and watch my video before last on my live section, you will see that we actually had a 3.5-hour live today, and we actually had been shutting down websites in real time. We're in a Zoom meeting with the owner of a scam, and we'd shut his website down the night before. And I'm in the chat room telling him, oh, what happened to the website? And then we realized that they had got a new website. And the new website, we shut it down before the Zoom meeting had ended. So we've got some amazing things happening with the Avengers at the moment. And we're always looking for new Avengers. So go to theheck.com, go to our website, click on contact us, provide us information, and we'll keep it anonymous. There's a way of making sure that you keep your information anonymous. Don't use your real name, and use anonymous@gmail.com as your email address, and then just give us the intel. We can't track it. We just like the intel. Then we can research it and find the answers to these things. Hey, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny the Heck.